The Marprelate Controversy was a war of pamphlets waged in England and Wales in 1588 and 1589, between a Puritan writer who employed the pseudonym Martin Marprelate and defenders of the Established Church. Martin's tracts are characterized by violent and personal invective against the Anglican dignitaries, by the assumption that the writer had numerous and powerful adherents and was able to enforce his demands for reform, and by a plain and homely style combined with pungent wit. While he maintained the Puritan doctrines as a whole, the special point of his attack was the Episcopacy. The pamphlets were printed at a secret press established by John Penry, a Welsh Puritan, with the help of the printer Robert Waldegrave, about midsummer 1588, for the issue of Puritan literature forbidden by the authorities. The first tract by Martin Marprelate, known as the Epistle, was printed at the home of Mistress Crane at East Moles in October 1588. Born Elizabeth Hussey, Mistress Crane was the widow of Anthony Crane, master of the Queen's household, and daughter of Sir Robert Hussey, younger brother of John Hussey, 1st Baron Hussey of Sleaford. The Epistle is an answer to a defence of the government established in the Church of England by Dr. John Bridges, Dean of Salisbury, itself a reply to earlier Puritan works, and besides attacking the episcopal office in general assails certain prelates with much personal abuse. The epistle attracted considerable notice, and a reply was written by Thomas Cooper, Bishop of Winchester, under the title An Admonition to the People of England, but this was too long and too dull to appeal to the same class of readers as the Marprelate pamphlets, and produced little effect. Penry's press removed in November to the home of Sir Richard Knightley at Forsley, near Northampton, then produced a second tract by Martin, the Epitome, which contains more serious argument than the epistle but is otherwise similar. Shortly afterward the press was moved to the Whitefriars, Coventry, the home of Knightley's great-nephew, John Hales, and his wife, Friderswide, the daughter of William Fount. In late January 1589, Martin's Certain Mineral and Metaphysical School Points was printed at the Whitefriars, followed in March by John Penry's View of some part of such public wants, and Martin's Hey Any Work for Cooper, a reply to the admonition. Hales, the son of Christopher Hales and Mary Lucy, daughter of William Lucy, Esquire, of Charlecote, was the nephew and heir of John Hales. It now appeared to some of the ecclesiastical authorities that the only way to silence Martin was to have him attacked in his own railing style, and accordingly certain writers of ready wit, among them John Lyly, Thomas Nash and Robert Greene, were secretly commissioned to answer the pamphlets. Among the productions of this group were Pappy with an Hatchet, probably by Lyly, and an Almond for a Parrot, which, with certain tracts under the pseudonym of the renowned Cavaliero Pasquill, has been attributed to Nash. Some anti-Martinist plays or shows performed in 1589 were perhaps also the work. Meanwhile, in July 1589, Penry's press, now at Woolston, near Coventry, produced two tracts purporting to be by sons of Martin, but probably by Martin himself, namely, Theses Martinianae by Martin Jr., and the Just Censure of Martin Jr. by Martin Sr. Shortly after this more work for Cooper, a sequel to Hey Any Worky, was begun at Manchester, but while it was in progress the press was seized. Penry, however, was not found, and in September issued from Woolston a Hazley, the Protestation of Martin Marprelate, the last work of the series, though several of the anti-Martinist pamphlets appeared after this date. He then fled to Scotland, but was later apprehended in London, charged with inciting rebellion, and hanged. The authorship of the tracts has been attributed to several persons. To Penry himself, who however emphatically denied it and whose acknowledged works have little resemblance in style to those of Martin, to Sir Michael Hicks, to Henry Barrow, to Roger Williams, to George Carlton by Catherine M. Longley and Patrick Collinson, and to the Warwickshire Squire and Member of Parliament Job Throckmorton, whom most Marprelate scholars now believe was the primary author with the assistance of Penry.